this is Charlie. Thanks for watching the channel today. A really unique bike. You just don't see too many of them. 1981 CR 450. So this is Honda's first year of their open class bike. All the ones before this bike that went into production, they only had factory race bikes. So back in that day, everybody was wanting to get an open class bike to race themselves against, the big boys. So this was Honda's first attempt for that. It's a 450, quote unquote, but it's really 431 cc's. The bike looks heavy, but it's actually pretty light for what you're getting. It's 230 pounds, 53 horsepower. So it definitely puts the power down. I think these are 41 or 43 millimeter front forks. So, they did a really good job for the first open class bike. I was lucky enough to get this bike. I didn't restore this. This was restored years ago and has been in a bike collector. Mike, thank you for selling me the bike. I've had this for a while, and Mike's probably had this for over 10 years restored. So even though this has been a 10-year-old plus restoration, it's probably one of the cleanest bikes I've ever seen, period, for an 80s style motocross bike. The plastic looks amazing. The motor, you don't get any cleaner than that. A lot of the original parts, you could see the exhaust, for example, is in excellent shape. There's not a ding in the exhaust at all, which is just super rare to find. So I'm really happy with the bike. I love the front number plate. A lot of people think it's ugly. I just think it's part of that nostalgia of the past. You have to have, those different looks and features, and Honda was dared to be different. Probably because the airflow would come through here, get it down to the motor. Who knows? Downforce, who knows? You just never know what they were thinking with the Honda engineers. But, it just shows the different type of things that the Honda engineers tried to do to better the performance of the bike. Let's see here. Really cool too, Mike was able to get the Dunlop tires. Pretty cool. It has the Dunlop stickers on it. As you know, it's really hard to get more of like the factory type tires, especially for that era back in the day. That's pretty cool. The bike's been thoroughly gone through and hasn't been started in that long either. I'll never ride this bike because you'll just never get it to this caliber again. 81 wasn't the best year for this bike in regards to performance. They had a really narrow power band, so a lot of the guys would say down low there's no power, and up high on the top end was no power. You just had a really thin power band in it, and it made it really hard to ride the bike fast. So you'd have to be on it constantly and shifting it pretty quickly to stay in that unique power band. And that was one of the harder things to do. So you'd either burn out the clutch from riding the clutch to try and stay in it or getting it out of the turns. So it was really tough to ride compared to the 82 480 and 83 480. So most of the race classes, if you don't know, for vintage, Evo Class, for this race bike, it would fall in 1981 to 1983. So you'd be crazy to race this bike when you could race in the 82 or 83. And even the 82 480 and the 83 480 are very different. So the 83 bike out of all the bikes is definitely the best one to ride for that race class. They did a lot of changes from the 82 to 83. If you want to learn more about all those changes, we actually posted a video on my 83 CR 250 and discussed the differences between the 82 and 83. So watch that one, and it'll go through a lot of the specifics and details of that. But if you're going to buy a bike to race and you're a big Honda fanatic, I would go with an 83 CR 480. For a collection though, a lot of people are like, why collect a 450 when they weren't a great race bike? Well, they only made 4,600 of these, and you just never see them. So, obviously as a collector and for an investor, you want to buy bikes that are unique and more rare, and this is just a lot more rare. You could find an 82 and 83 CR480 all day long. It's just really hard finding 81s. I think Kaplan Cycles had one and did really good when it sold. They're just super rare to find, especially in this condition. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like it. Massimo will do a montage and walk around and show videos and hopefully put some type of good music with it.
Yes, sure, absolutely.
He'll figure out something. But enjoy it, stay tuned. We have a lot more cool bikes coming up. 2023 is gonna be a great year, you guys. We have a lot of cool things coming along, cool content. So stay along for the ride, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.